Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 reasons why I chose the Hobonichi Weeks over other planning systems that are out there that I've used in the past. So let's get started. The first reason that I chose the Hobonichi Weeks is because there is one book. The reason why that's really important to me is kind of for multiple reasons. One, I love to look back at my year in one book and kind of be able to easily see what went on. I did enjoy that in my Erin Condren, but this planner is ginormous. So I like being able to just kind of easily pick up a book and reference what I did earlier in the year, previous years, 5 years down the road. I also love that this doesn't take up a whole lot of space, even the mega weeks that I'm going to be using next year. If you think about like taking up, space on a shelf, this is something that's really easy to keep kind of accessible without taking up like a whole shelf spanning several years. I also love that there's like nothing to misplace. Everything is housed in this one book, so there is no way that I'm going to like lose a paper. I have tons of inserts around from where I used Filofaxes and mini happy planners, things like that. And I would have to take things out to keep them from getting bulky or damaging the rings, and so I have pages that are out of order. Even though I tried really hard to keep them all together, I try to keep old inserts in a box. It didn't always work. I wasn't always great about, making sure everything was in the same order. It's not as easy to go back and look at things as I would like. The second reason why I have chosen the Hobonichi Weeks is because it's really easy to carry. If you don't have it in one of the like leather covers offered by my suggestion, Chic Sparrow, it's a really slim book. It's a slim book either way. You do obviously add some bulk when you put a leather cover on it, but you can pretty much put this in any size bag, unless you're using like a wallet purse, it's not gonna fit in there. But pretty much any other bag that you have, it's gonna fit inside. If you love to carry a larger purse, that's great too. It's just not gonna take up as much room as say an Erin Condren will. So it's very portable. If you want to, it's going to easily be like the only thing you carry. Say you're a minimal kind of girl, not so, bring around a tote kind of person like me. I tend to go with like hobo bags that are crossbody that I can just kind of dump my stuff in and go, or the backpack purses like the Konkin, which I love to carry that bag. Sometimes, with or without this cover, I like to put my driver's license, my debit card in here, and I leave the house with this. My phone's in my back pocket, I have some chapstick and hand sanitizer with me, and that's how I go out a lot of times. I like that I don't have to carry a bunch of stuff with me to stay organized, because I do like to carry my planner with me because I feel like it's an extension of my brain. This planner isn't gonna break your back, trying to carry it in a bag, and it's gonna be, more discreet, say, than carrying around like an Erin Condren planner. The third reason why I have chosen the Hobonichi Weeks over other planners is because there are no frills about it. Hobonichi keeps things really simple, and they do it in a really good way. You have the things that you need. You have your years at a glance, you have your tracker, you have your months, and you have your weeks. Everything is there that you need. You have the pages in the back to have your notes and trackers and things like that. So everything that you need is here, but it's simple. You don't have colors that are already chosen for you. For me, with like the Erin Condren, it's a nice planner. It has nice paper. Everything is in one book. I like that. But I am not into their like design choices. I hated having these up here. I bought the neutral, obviously you can see. I hated that I had the neutral, and to get that what I needed with lines, I had to have the hours here. That drove me insane. And it's not like they're not bold. It was difficult. I had to go through every single week and use correction tape to go ahead and cover up the times And every week I had to get something to cover up this little, whatever they call it, in the colors for you because it clashed with whatever stickers I was using for the week. And I didn't like this petal design in the front. So I felt like I spent a lot of time and a lot of money covering up things that I didn't like about this planner. Same thing goes with the Happy Planner system. So this year I wanted to try a mini Happy Planner. I didn't start using the Hobonichi Weeks until February of this year. So I went and bought a Happy Planner, and it was a struggle for me to find one that I even thought that I might enjoy. I don't like most of their themes. I don't like the planner girls and the girly stuff and all of that. I wanted something that actually they just don't sell. What my dream mini Happy Planner would be is if they had fun, pretty photography stuff here that's not so boring. Black and white neutral pages, maybe with some fun like stripes and polka dots like they have on the side just to give some interest, and then pretty colored tabs with pretty photos for the monthly spreads. And they don't make that. They have a neutral, but it's like gray tones and it's kind of like uptown feeling, and it's just not my jive. That being said, I do have other issues with the mini Happy Planner. When you take the pages in and out, the edges kind of get bent looking, and I don't really like how that looks. I don't like how you have like a note page in the back, and to add anything on, you need to either take pages out or use bigger rings, which I don't want to do either of those things. So for me, it's not like something you can just pick up and have a complete planning system. With the Hobonichi Weeks, you can change things about it, but you don't have to either. So Hobonichi Weeks keeps it simple. So if you want to do very minimalistic planning, for instance, like my husband, he's going to use the Hobonichi Weeks for next year. He has a pen, he has the planner, we did get a cover on cover for him so that he can use the pen loop in the pockets and things, but that's it. He might use a highlighter here and there, but he's obviously not going to be like using stickers and decorating on all of that. So he's able to use it in a very minimalistic way, but it works because everything you could possibly need in a planner is there. He would have a lot of notes that he would take in the back as well. He has pasted things into other like cheap planners that he's purchased before to give himself more space for things like that. The Hobonichi Weeks has it all. If, though, you choose to decorate your planner, like I choose in some seasons, it's really easy to do so. There aren't a lot of places that you can get stickers for, just like the Hobonichi Weeks. You can use stickers for the Happy Planner system. Some of them are going to be too big. Like you couldn't go and take like this to-do sticker. I mean, you can use it in there, but you're not going to get it on a day. You know, it might be that you want to use it over a couple of the days to provide visual interest. Maybe you have just a couple of things that you need to do over a couple of days. You can use it like that. You can use your imagination. Everything doesn't have to fit into a particular box. I liked what I did here. So this is a kit that was for an Erin Condren planner. I purchased it last year for my Erin Condren planner, and I didn't get to all of the Halloween kits that I bought because it's my favorite time of year. So this is a box for an Erin Condren planner. I can stick it here, I can stick it here, I could stick it over a couple of different places, and although it wasn't meant for the Hobonichi Weeks, it works. This is one of the like little label stickers, and I just used it to span between 2 days and notate that my husband was going to be out of town driving both of these days. So although that wasn't for the Hobonichi Weeks, it also will work in a Hobonichi Weeks. The fact that you can keep it simple or decorate this planner and nothing about it really gets in your way of that. I mean, you have the Japanese stuff on the side. Some people cover it up. To me, it doesn't make that much of a difference to me. I don't even see that anymore. I know this is Monday, I know this is Sunday, I see the days of the week, and I go from there. I don't really do a lot to cover up a bunch of stuff in this planner. The fourth thing I love about this planner, and the reason why I chose it for my planning system, is the layout of this planner. So when I was using my personal Filofax, I was using I was using inserts from So Much Crafting, and like the Hobonichi Weeks, it is the week on one and the grid on the other side. I wrote bigger in it because it was bigger, it allowed for bigger handwriting, but it was the same exact layout. I loved that I could put the things that I needed on this side and make this other page anything I wanted. And I changed what I put in there frequently. So like for this week, I don't have any trackers, I just have a to-do list. But on other weeks, I've had trackers. So tracking things that I'm buying, my workouts. It absolutely will grow with you, change with you however you need throughout the year. So this works really well for me. The fifth reason that I'm using a Hobonichi Weeks as my planner is the customization. If you're not a horizontal layout kind of person, you can easily ignore that. There are little tiny dots along this planner, different places where it breaks up the page. Some people use it facing this way, which would personally drive me crazy, but if it works for you, use it that way. You can have a morning, noon, and night over here. If you're using it for something like a health and wellness, you can do this as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, this planner, the Japanese way of planning things, I just think it's genius. And I feel like they've really thought of everything. So like I said, you can change the way you use the planner, but also if you love doing bullet journaling, you can do what I have done for 2019 and make all of your trackers and pages and lists and things like that in the back of the planner. And then you have the week view, but then you don't have to do all of the work for this. And I feel like that's really important because I try to bullet journal, and if that's your thing and you want to spend that time, I love it. I love looking at the spreads, but it doesn't work for me in my life. I don't have time every week to go through and write up a week or think of ways to do it. That's not the kind of life that I'm living right now. Maybe it will be one day, but this works for so many different people, for so many different purposes. So if you're a bullet journal person, I think this is an easy kind of variation to go into. If you're a horizontal planner, it's going to work like that. If you're a vertical planner, it can work like that. If you want it to be a work planner, I know a lot of people who do that. You can track your school in here. You can use it as a health and wellness planner. It's just so easy to customize to fit different kind of people with different kind of lives and different planning systems. I've even thought of going back through for last year and taking the Hobonichi Weeks that I didn't use and filling it up like a little bit at a time with all of the things that happened last year so that everything is in one place. Because I didn't start the year with an Erin Condren, I started the year with Filofax. I kind of went wishy-washy back and forth with lots of different things. I had a mini happy planner, I had the personal planner, I had the Erin Condren planner, I had the Filofax, and a couple of weeks of the Hobonichi Weeks. And I really would love to go back through and just kind of fill out my year so that everything is in one book. I think that it's important to note a couple of reasons why the Hobonichi Weeks took a little longer for me to get used to, so that maybe it will help you from kind of stumbling around if you choose to use this system. The one is the Tomoe River paper, and it is fabulous paper. I'm not saying anything against it, but it feels and behaves differently with pens and pencils and markers and all of those things than other paper does. So when you're used to writing on paper, the best way that I can describe it is I look for like a grip, a bite to the paper. So this is really smooth paper. So I don't like the way my handwriting behaves with some pens. This is written on with Le Pen, which I like in this planner. The other things that I have written here, this is the friction pen, and then this word gloves I wrote with another pen, and I didn't like the way it flowed. Most of the time, I stick with my friction. If you don't have everything out in a hot car all day, it's not going to erase, I promise. I have written almost everything note-wise in my Bible with friction pens and friction highlighters, and I carry this thing around everywhere. I've carried it around for years. I only have a couple of pages where I've had to, like maybe here, I've had a couple of pages on the edges where I've had to like go through and rewrite something, but that has just been a couple of pages out of hundreds of notes that I've taken over years in my Bible. The crafty room that I work in and I do my videos in and everything, I have tons of things in here that is written in friction pen, and it's not very well controlled climate-wise. It gets really warm in here in the summer, it gets really cold in here in the winter, because it was like an addition to the house, and it just, the heating and cooling doesn't function as well out here, and I have had no issues with anything that I've written in friction pen. So if you're concerned about that, don't be. I really like the way these pens write on the paper. So that's one thing I had to get used to. Another one is the color of the paper. So I'm used to just writing on crisp white paper. And so the Hobonichi Techos, they have the white paper, and if you can tell the difference there, there's an off-white cream color for the weeks, and so I kind of had to get used to that as well. Other than that, getting just used to the grids. The grids are really small. If you look at the difference between how big I write and how big the grids are in the So Much Crafting inserts, one of these grids is 2 of the Hobonichi grids. So getting used to writing smaller, being a person who writes larger, was a little difficult for me, but I've gotten it down. It just took some time to get used to that. So those are a couple of things that distracted me from a Hobonichi Weeks for a while, but now that I'm in it and using it, I just think it's the perfect system. So those are the 5 reasons why I'm using a Hobonichi Weeks and why I'm going to continue using this system. If you have any questions about how I use the planner or how you might use the planner, you know, coming from a different planning style, please leave a comment, your questions below. I will get back to you. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.